Okay, in this lesson I'll be giving you an overview of the plans that I've created for the Lincoln Log House that you're looking at. And I figured the best place to start was where I started, which was when I opened the package. These assembly instructions came with the kit. You can see how many pieces I had to work with each piece. First thing I did was open up the kit. I read the instructions. Here's the back of the instructions, which gave you step-by-step instructions how to put that fort together. And you can see a close-up of step 3 right here, just to give you a better idea of what they gave me. And I thought I could do better than this, so I proceeded to build my my Lincoln Log House here. So I wanted y'all to see I went through the steps of building it first, and I went through the whole steps and figure out how I'm going to put it all together before I even started my model. So it might be a good idea for y'all, once you get your parts drawn, to just go ahead and put together a quick and dirty version perhaps, and then take that apart using and the exploded view tool, and then perhaps build a completely new model in which to make your assembly instructions from. So this is what I came up with. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the whole drawing. First I have my top assembly sheet, which shows all of my sub-assemblies. I made each step into a sub-assembly. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the roof elements up here. The roof with a chimney, there's 2 of those, and then one that's just a flat roof. And I proceeded to go through all the steps to create this design. Notice the coloring. I created new colors. If you add the line format toolbar, you can go to view, toolbars, and it's got to be here somewhere, line format toolbar. This is it right here. So it's like little lines and then colors on the bottom. That's the icon. So I created new layers. By pressing this button here, it goes to layer properties, and all I did was click new, name the color. I'm gonna name it Greg, just for an example, and then I click on the color and I pick a color, and I kind of like red, but I already have a red, so I'll go with kind of a pink. So that's the new color, Greg. So now if I click on the step 1 view, I can see it over here in my family tree. I can click on the subassembly for this step. I can click the Greg color, and I can say move it to the Greg color, and you see all the colors in that step change to the new color. So we move on, and I have individual assembly drawings for each step. So step 1 has its own drawing complete with bill of material. Notice that in my bill of material I have actually skipped rows so that the numbers of the timber line up with the item number, just to help me when I'm building it later. If I was going to put it together from this drawing, I wouldn't have to refer back to the bill of material all the time. The number here is the number of the timber, so timber 4 is item number 4. And how I modify that is I'll actually just double click the cell here. A message will come up asking you, are you sure that you want to change that? So just say yes, and it'll allow you to change it. And then all I've done is I've made this centered and just put a dash mark in there. And then on this one, it's already centered. I just had to put a dash mark in there, and that just tells the builder that there's no item 2. So we move on. Again, item 2 is skipped because there's no timber 2 in this drawing. You can see on this one particularly the colors really do help. You can tell that the purple timbers are different timbers than the blue timbers here, and that the darker blue are the smaller number 1 timbers. And here it made more sense to just go ahead and make it with the coloring and texturing from the model on this one, instead of making it a line drawing and making colors out of it, because there are so few parts. Same with this one, it's all the same parts. So, and here we go to the actual parts drawing that I've created. If you notice that all these sheets are all in the same drawing file, and that's how I want you to create your whole drawing package. And in other words, I want you to wait until your entire assembly is created, along with the assembly instruction, configurations, and everything, before you even start a drawing. And then I want you to create a top assembly drawing like I created, along with all the other steps that go along with it. So here are the parts, and on your parts, I don't want it this cluttered. I decided to go ahead and fit everything on one page, and I'm almost sorry I did, because it seems a little cluttered to me. So what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to make a page for the timbers. In other words, timber 1, 3, 4, 5, 8. By the way, I don't know what timber 2 is. I don't know what timber 6 and 7 are. And I want you to make a separate page for the roof elements, which include the chimney, the roof holder, the roof support, and the roof slat. And then the last page on my sheet is a photo that compares my photograph that I took, that I showed you earlier, to my rendering, which I'm going to show you how to do eventually on the last movie. So that's an overview of the drawing. I just wanted to give you an idea of what you're going to be creating. Once you get to this point and you save, once you've saved it, completely saved it, then you can actually save it as a PDF file, in which all of these sheets will become pages within the PDF file. So if I say save as, and I go down to PDF, see, I already have a PDF file saved there. I'm just going to resave, why not? And it's going to ask you which sheets do you want to export to PDF, and I'm just going to choose all of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pages. Yours will probably need another page for the second page of parts. You see it goes through all the different pages as it's creating the PDF file. And I'm going to open that file. And this is the file I just created. Notice that all the different pages are clearly marked out in this table of this nice handy table of contents. And each view is named as well, because I actually named the views in SOLIDWORKS. If you look at my SOLIDWORKS folder, I'm going to go to the All Steps page, and you notice that each view has been named. I've named it over here. What I do is I'll click, and I'll click again, and I'm just going to say example, and hit enter. notice that this doesn't change. This is separate. This is just a note that I added in. All I did here was say note, and then I just placed it here and said step 2. Of course, I was in a different layer, so it was a different color. But if I save again, I'm going to close this. Notice that this step 2, or which one I changed? I changed the step 2, so it's going to say example after it now in the PDF file. So again, it goes through every page. Right, so now we open up the PDF again, and we'll go to the all steps, and notice step 2 view example is now shown up there. So that's how we change the name. We just simply change the name of the view, and notice in one that I haven't changed, let's see, like step 1 drawing view 3, that's all it is. Step 1. So I'm just drawing view 3, so that's what it comes out as in the PDF drawing. Drawing view 3. Okay. And we can go through the same pages as we have in the SOLIDWORKS drawing. And this makes for a nice way to deliver your drawing package via email. It's one simple PDF file with everything in it that they need to build, including my rendering and my photograph. Alright, that's your overview. Please proceed to the next tent for a lesson on how to make your parts for this lesson. Thank you.